It's a great pleasure to welcome the Prime Minister of Georgia to the Council of Europe. I'm very pleased to say that cooperation between the Council of Europe and Georgia is very good. I am looking forward to a visit in Tbilisi quite soon in order to launch an action plan for Georgia together with the Georgian government, and this action plan is very broad and it underlines what I said, namely that during the last few years relations between Georgia and Council of Europe has been better and better. By the way, I'm not talking about Georgia and Council of Europe or the other way around, because Georgia is a part of Council of Europe. It's a part of the family. And I would also like to say that I will continue to issue reports about the conflict in Georgia twice a year. We have a new one right now, which will be dealt with by the Committee of Ministers. Council of Europe is also very eager on and insisting on getting more access to South Ossetia and Abkhazia, and I'm happy to say that we are able to do some confidence building measures there, which the Georgian government has contributed in a very good way to, and we will continue also on that path, but we continue to say that Council of Europe should be able to use all our instruments in order to protect the rights, human rights of people living in these areas as well. They are under the European Convention on Human Rights. They have the right to apply to the Court of Human Rights here in Strasbourg, and therefore we should be able to use all our instruments in both South Ossetia and Abkhazia. So again, I've been very glad to meet with you, and it is a good preparation for the visit to Tbilisi soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Secretary General. We had a very interesting meeting. I thanked Secretary General for his personal contribution to the cooperation of Georgia and Council of Europe. We have discussed issues of our cooperation, outlined the importance of ambitious and complex reforms carried out by the government of Georgia. During the meeting, special attention was paid to the human rights situation on the occupied territories in Abkhazia and Tskhinvali region. We raised issues of rights of our citizens in education rights in their mother tongue, and also proposed referendum in Tskhinvali region on joining Russian Federation. We are pleased to host Secretary General and Chair of the Committee of Ministers, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Bulgaria, Daniel Mitov, in Tbilisi, 9th of May this year, where we will launch the action plan for 16-20 for Georgia. We take this plan very seriously. We have a very strong determination in the government to continue reforms of Europeanization of Georgia, reforms related to human rights protection, developing of judicial reform further, and the building democratic institutions. I would like to thank again Secretary General for his help to Georgia and express very strong determination of Georgian government to continue this very fruitful cooperation with the Council of Europe. Thank you.
We have time for some questions from
Georgian Broadcasting Company, Rustavi too. A question to the Secretary General. As you know, in autumn we have parliamentary elections, and I'm interested, how do you think, how important on pre-election period the equal playground for all political parties, also media freedom? What do you expect from these elections, and how do you think how our reintegration depends on these elections? Thank you. And one more question for our Prime Minister. Yesterday, Mr. Jean-Claude Juncker mentioned already about the position of European Commission about visa liberalization. Tomorrow in Brussels, in Euro Parliament, Libe Committee will discuss first time about this issue. So what do you expect tomorrow from the parliamentarians? Thank you so much.
Has informed me about the upcoming elections, and I was pleased to hear that they have already invited the international observers for these elections, among them ODIHR, and as you know, they are not only observing when the elections take place at the poll stations, they are also observing what is going on before the elections, and I am sure that it is in everybody's interest that there is free and fair access to media and to do the campaign.
We had a very interesting meeting with President Juncker yesterday. We discussed the visa liberalization prospects for Georgia. Mr. Juncker expressed readiness to proceed on visa liberalization process for Georgia within the existing framework, which is a very important statement. We hope very much that Libe committee will have a positive opinion about Georgia's visa liberalization progress. We are continuing bilateral work with our European partners, member states, to generate and consolidate support before the next visa working meeting, which will be held in the beginning of May next month. We are very optimistic about this process and continue to work towards that goal.
Thank you, lady.
The question is to both of you. In fact, concerning the recent escalation in Nagorno-Karabakh, it actually showed the failure of mediators' efforts. And what do you think could Georgia and Council of Europe, the Georgia as a neighboring country, at some point play more role in stability and peace in the region and be involved somehow in the process of bringing two people, not politicians, maybe two people together? And the same is with you, like.
Very much immediately after escalation of the conflict, I made several statements on our support towards peaceful resolution of the conflict. We are very much genuinely interested in the peace in South Caucasus. This conflict can deteriorate security outlook in the whole region. So we realize how important is the peace in Nagorno-Karabakh. For this, we can of course offer Georgia as a place for peaceful negotiations. We are glad that at least recent period there is some de-escalation in Nagorno-Karabakh, and we are pretty much looking forward to peaceful resolution of this conflict.
We too call for the same, stop hostilities, and we always, this is the only thing we can do now is to refer this to the Minsk group. Not much has happened there actually, but I think the recent hostilities shows that there is a need now to invigorate the political process. We haven't been asked by any of the parties to be involved in this, so therefore our position is clear. This is in the hands of the Minsk group.
One more short question, sir.
I have to ask a question in English. I will do it. Go on with English. Mr. Prime Minister, what would be your main message tomorrow on PA, where you have not just only supports, but critics and opponents like your compatriots from national movement? And please, Secretary General, if we can bypass this rule, Can Prime Minister answer in Georgia?
Oh, yes.
ფაქტი, რომ ხვალ ოპოზიციის წარმომადგენლები იქნებიან ევროსაბჭოს საპარლამენტო ასამბლეის სხდომაზე, მეტყველებს იმაზე, რომ საქართველოში დემოკრატია ვითარდება. ჩვენთვის არ არის უცხო საუბარი ოპოზიციასთან, უკვე რამოდენიმე თვეა მე არაერთი შეხვედრა მქონდა ოპოზიციის წარმომადგენლებთან, მათ შორის არასამთავრობო სექტორის წარმომადგენლებთან და რა თქმა უნდა, გავცემ კითხვას ყველა პასუხს. ჩვენ არ ვართ თვითკმაყოფილი იმ შედეგით, რაც მიღწეულია, მაგრამ მეორე მხრივ არ შეიძლება არ დაინახო ის პროგრესი, რომელიც საქართველოშია. დღეს გამოვიდა ახალი რეიტინგი ჟურნალისტების საზღვრის გარეშე, სადაც საქართველომ 2012 წლის შემდეგ 36 საფეხურით გააუმჯობესა გამოხატვის თავისუფლების რეიტინგი, საერთაშორისო რეიტინგი და არაერთ ევროპულ ქვეყანას უსწრებს ამ თვალსაზრისით. 64 ადგილზეა, თუ არ ვცდები 180 ქვეყანას შორის. მაგრამ ეს არ არის ის, რითიც ჩვენ უნდა ვიყოთ კმაყოფილები, რა თქმა უნდა, ჩვენ უნდა გავაგრძელოთ რეფორმები ადამიანის უფლებათა დაცვის კუთხით, კანონის უზენაესობის კუთხით და ევროპული ინსტიტუტების მშენებლობის კუთხით. სწორედ ამიტომ ვიმყოფებით აქ, სწორედ ამიტომ ვიხილავთ გენერალურ მდივანთან ერთად საქართველოს 16-20 წლების სამოქმედო გეგმას, რათა საქართველო ვაქციოთ ჭეშმარიტად ევროპულ ქვეყნად, ევროპული ინსტიტუციებით, სადაც იქნება უმაღლესი ხარისხი ადამიანის უფლებების დაცვის, კანონის უზენაესობის და დემოკრატიული ინსტიტუტების. ხვალ გვექნება ჩვენ საუბარი სწორედ ამ რეფორმებზე, რომლებიც ჩვენ უკვე გავატარეთ და რომლებსაც გეგმავთ მომავალში, რათა ნამდვილად განვამტკიცოთ ის განცდა ჩვენს ევროპელ პარტნიორებში, რომ საქართველო ნამდვილად არის ევროპული ქვეყანა და საქართველოსთვის უაღრესად მნიშვნელოვანი, უმაღლესი პრიორიტეტია ამ რეფორმების გატარება.
Thank you very much.
To visit Georgia, it's quite soon. To launch the action. So, Prime Minister, it's a great pleasure to have you here, and also a great honor. I mean, to see